Hey YouTube, coming at you with my second Fantasy Cup team, and the strategy behind this was Steel Double Dragon, because again, it's a very common line back in the day. Steel in the front, switch into safe swap as best you can, safe swap Dragon. Steel will punish the fairy, and then your other one will roam free. So I started with Escav, Dragonite, and Giratina Origin because I've already used Altered. So how you basically use this team is automatically come in with Giratina because you try to draw out a fairy and have your steel punished. And I went 3-0 with this team, and then I switched the team immediately because there was a big issue which I will showcase in game number 3. But in this one here, did a ton of chip damage. I am going to just take switch here because I think Giratina, even with some energy, is pretty strong. And this one I kind of like this Giratina. Both Giratinas are very, very strong in this. The other one for bulky and spamminess. This one for potential nuke ability. Like, look at that Shadow Ball. I took switch, and I basically just took out this Excadrill, which is huge. And I just come in farm with Dragonite, and here comes a Sylveon. This is why, even though I am a counter user, it is still okay against fairies because all the charm is resisted, and I'm able just to kind of you get to the drill run pretty quickly. Just spam these drill runs. The charms are resisted. I can shield because it takes a long time to get to their moves, and I'll be able to take this down, right? So I'll shield any move, and then between the counters and the drill run, and then even the Dragon Breath damage is going to be enough to take this out. So get another move up. I think they're going to have to throw before, or else they're going to get countered down here. It's going to be close, but they end up giving up switch. Doesn't even matter because I think they're one short here, and I get the Dragon Claw for the win. So easy style team to use. There's a lot of steel in this, and that's why Pokemon like sort of Giratina are good because they're half ghost as well. So it kind of like for other Pokemon you can like resist certain moves. Half ghost, half dragon. The dragon is what resists some of the moves I'm thinking of. Anyways, this one shot, 2-0. Meta goes in here. I'm going to go 3-0 for this team. And this is when I switched it because here comes a Togekiss. And I do not have an answer for a Togekiss. So I come in here just because I know I can chip. I can grab shields and chip with moves if they don't. So they shield, so I grab one shield. Honestly, I may shield and just throw Ominous Wind here. We'll see. Oh, no, I let it go. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I got one shield. I got to come back here. Just throwing resisted drill runs. I don't have a move. And I'm like, okay, this is clearly a good team idea, poorly executed, even though I went 3-0, right? So immediately scrap this team after this 3-0. Excadrill is, Escav is still a really, really strong Pokemon in this meta. And definitely one worth building around, just not this team comp. And here you go again, Hydreigon. Comes in, I shield, full farm, and I'll get this off for the win. So even though I went 3-0, I'm like, no, this team does not work. So I need to switch the team. So there are other options for steals that you can use that will do what you need them to do. I'm going to get a drill run off here and take this matchup. So let's nuke this and let's go to the next one. Because the next one I used was melmetal. And melmetal was okay because it's just got that quick spam ability. You're definitely going to like, so this will be like a great option for steals because you have the super power. Great option for that Togekiss because you can just do rock slide. Throw that there. Out comes the first fairy, which is exactly what you want. It's even better when it's a Tapu because you resist all the water. So they have to throw Moonblast to take you out. Shadow Ball does a lot. And now because the claws are adding up too, and Moonblast takes a while to get to, I end up shielding. And this will force them to shield back, or else I'm going to take switch here. Right? So force the shield back. Or they let it go and I take switch. So I take switch. And out comes the Dragulge. So I'm just going to chip here. I baited again. Did they let? Okay, so they do shield. I figured they would shield And I was hoping to get to another move, and I do. So that bait comes in handy because now I'm going to get off a little bit of chip damage, which is great. I end up coming in melmetal because I know it has like Aqua Tail and it has, I don't know, what's the second move? Crunch. Maybe it has a dragon second move. I don't know what the second move is. But realistically, I thought like, okay, this will do okay, and then force them to throw, and then I can maybe come in with my dragonite. I throw this thinking it would take it out, but it does not. And then do I try and snipe here? Or do I take one more move? I take one more move knowing that I'm not going to get locked on down probably. So hopefully this will put me pretty low, but not low enough to lock on me down. So they do get a move off. I'm going to bank it because I have a superpower. I'm going to throw immediately because I figured that I'm going to force the shield back here. And I do. And now it's a race. But the problem is you lose this race. So I lose the race. This Zepkin is going to hurt a lot. But it does not KO. So I'm going to farm up just a little bit more, knowing these lock-on downs are not going to take me out. Yeah, I was about to say. Knowing that it's not going to take me out, so I would have a superpower. And then I would have a Dragon Claw for the Dragalge. Type of on the lead here. This is good. I'll stay in here. I'll take a move. I may even switch into my... I still may switch into Giratina after this, after they throw this move here. Knowing that it's within one Shadow Ball range. Yeah, it's within one Shadow Ball range and the water guns are going to be resisted. I get back with a Steelix, and a Steelix has Dragon Tail. So kind of a core breaker for this team, because if it's running Earthquake 2, Melmetal is going to have problems. If it's running Crunch, which I figured it may run Crunch, I would have problems here. So I shield, and it's just Psychic Fang, so that sucks because now my defense is lowered, and they can just Dragon Claw me all the way down. So the double dragons does have its limitations to a certain extent, and then this, I think this loss is when I should have just thrown a move there. Should have just chipped. So I think I just need to sacrifice this. I don't know. This game's over. Double dragons is tricky. Like having a dragon that can actually throw non-dragon moves, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Omnis Wind, is key if you were going to run this team, because you cannot get switch locked on like a fairy with Dragonite. So that is that. Okay, that was kind of a core breaker there to a certain extent. Let's use Empoleon, because Empoleon in this matchup is an even matchup, and they come in Registeel. Let's see if I throw it or I just come in immediately Giratina after. I tried to catch it. Yeah, I tried to catch the Focus Blast or the Zap Cannon. Either one I would try to catch on it because it would have been resisted here. And you can survive multiple. Just did not time that properly. And now it is okay. My Empoleon is loaded. This is still going to take two moves to take me out here. Probably three. I think Zap Cannon only does like a third. Yeah. And lock-ons aren't going to do much. So it's going to take 3 moves to take me out here. So Giratina is a premium answer to Registeel in this meta. So this will not take me out. So I will be able to take Switch here if I want. And I do want, because I do not want my Dragonite on their Tapu. So I'm farming up a little bit. Just going to go for the Omnis Wind. Hoping for a boost once in a while. Never get the boost on my end. Takes it out. Tapu comes in. They're going to try and just farm me down, which is fine. But this will do a ton of... Not ton. Actually, my attack's lowered. So it's going to do okay. Chip damage. They shield, which is actually great. Because I can come in here with my Empoleon. I have a move. Let's chip this. Every move of theirs is going to be resisted. So I can just take the move, no problem. And out comes an Escav. And this is a nice answer to Escav. Because at best they have Aerial Ace, which hits for neutral. Drill Run's resisted. Acid Spray to lower my defense significantly, but that is not going to do anything in the grand scheme of things because you are a counter user. So I'm going to take this out here, and then I'll have my Empoleon to sweep quite easily on the Tapu here. So Empoleon Double Dragon. Empoleon Double Dragon actually was OG. That's I was like, this is a common lineup. Yes, the common lineup was Empoleon, Dragonite, Kingdra in the Ultra League back in seasons 1 through 4. You come in and lead Empoleon. Kingdra is your safe swap because it just, you can get the Dragon Breath Puck to Octazooka to lower their defense attack significantly, and then your Empoleon comes in, punishes, and then Dragonite sweeps in the back. So those are that's the idea. That's a team concept. It worked and it didn't work. Depends on your lead. The meta is pretty small in this. That's why I'm in Great League, even though I'm having, again, you'll see other Great League teams, especially Hunting, Noctowl, and Lantern coming soon. But yeah, that's a team. Sort of worked, sort of didn't work. Just depends. Again, when you have Fairy as one of your only 3 metas, having Double Dragon is risky, and Dragon, which also takes super effective to Dragon, right? So 2 out of 3 is weak, and a Steel Resist Dragon, right? So that's why the secondary typing on Giratina having full ghost moves is key. Anyways, that is it. Hope you have a good weekend. Appreciate the thumbs up and comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.